Namaskar, sir. Namaskar.
Namaskaram. No, sir, DrTPS.
Yeah, but as you said in yesterday's meeting, we are in so habit from years and years. So even we want or not, that will that is coming out.
Look at my face, then you will call me only DrTPS. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We were discussing. I think it's almost 3 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a time when I inaugurated Grandma Child Care Shiksha Gurukulam
Yeah.
concept in Pragati resorts with a large number of people. Almost 100 people were there.
That time, you just started talking about it, and I remember I attended few of your sessions.
Yeah.
But somehow after that pandemic and all, and life was not the same for last 2 years, and things passed like that. Even I was not well for around 1 year.
But it is not a new concept. Actually, I made a Grandma Child Care Shiksha Gurukulam. It's called the Grandma Child Care Center, GCC, with an emblem of a mother sitting and 2 children. And it's a beautiful emblem. I designed it with a G. A G will look like an old lady sitting, and then 2C will look like small children.
I think I saw that logo somewhere, maybe in your meeting. So.
Yes. Which I started in Kerala in one of the center. The lady who was staying in a house vacated, stayed somewhere else, and the house was converted into a school. So I'll tell you how to make the infrastructure, and then tell you the theory and the functionality behind it.
Yes.
Actually, you need a place where, suppose you have 10 or 15 children. That itself is a good number to start with.
Yeah, initially definitely this will be the number.
Yeah, you need probably a place where the kids can sit, kids can sleep, kids can jump, kids can play, they can do craft. That room has to be with no furnitures.
Okay.
No edges. So the expenditure becomes actually very minimum, but very child friendly. So how do you make it? You can have a 1.5 inch size cushion, which you can see in the railway second class sleeper. You have got a cushion, right, with a Ruxin cover on top of it. I made it in my house when I conduct camps. It will be a 2.5 or 3 feet width with a 5 feet length. So that means if somebody can carry it wherever they go, they can use that for sleeping, they can use that for sitting. It's like a movable thing, so that you can spread it in your room totally. Because
nowadays in my region, those small 3x6 sheets will come. Those people use for sleeping also. It will have foam in that, and then cover will be there. So that will be, I think.
Wonderful. But a Ruxin cover with different colors.
Mm-hmm.
See, generally kids knows only 3 colors: RGB, and yellow, and black and white. So you can have 6 colors, not too many. And these 6 colors in random. Change the patterns every day when they come in the morning. You can make your own designs. On the walls, it should be different themes. See, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. No holidays. Every day is a working day. Whenever they want, they can come. No attendance. No timing.
Sir, you wanted to record this session, I think.
I am recording it.
Oh, then great.
And the screen is also grabbed.
Okay.
So I will mix them together and post. That's what generally I do. So the wall will have the paintings. Either it can be a flux, it can be a board, which shows one day can be a forest theme. Second day can be a marine theme. Third day can be a development theme. The fourth day can be a digital theme. You plan what is that you want and then push it. It can be social science one day. The whole Indian sightseeing places, maybe the temples, maybe the vegetables, maybe whatever you have in the young childhood textbooks, you display it onto the wall. So no textbooks for children. The class itself is a learning place with a lot of activities around. Lot of newspapers, magazines, which are all which you can purchase in kilograms. Not every day circulated current is not required. Old one is also good enough. The activities will be for each children. You will have a cupboard which is fixed in a different room where each children's name will be written, in which you will have different files. And the job of the children are to cut and paste in the file and then keep it there. So it is your imagination what sort of activity you want. If I used to do it to make young children who wanted to learn alphabetics, it can be they cut only A and then paste it in a sheet. Different size, different font from different places. It's like for them it's not A, it's only a drawing. They don't even understand it is A. Don't even tell them that it is A. You tell that this is called A, this is the diagram which you have to find in every paper, every magazine, every print, every notices which comes in your door. It could be your regional language. Cut them and then paste that into different pages. In case if they do for 20 such numbers, automatically that figure is imprinted in their brain. And you tell them to write A, you don't have to teach them. They beautifully will draw. Actually, we are drawing alphabets. It is nothing great for us. We are drawing A, we are drawing B, we are drawing C, like we are drawing an elephant or a cat. Similarly, these magazines, these old textbooks, these pre-primary, LKG, UKG, 1, 2, 3 grades, create lot of old books available where they cut and paste and then put it together. It can be the soap cover, it can be the matchbox cover, which I all did in my childhood. Each activity was a learning. The good teacher should have a lot of such creative activity. My contribution is to train youngsters who wanted to become part of this.
Yes, sir.
Don't give them salary, but give them a certificate at the end of 6th month, certifying them they are the creative pre-primary teachers. We will find the ways to give a certificate even if you want from abroad. I have got somebody who are associated with you from Canada. We can have a tie-up with them. See that we create such things, and they are also from Punjab. So I'm sure Haryana, Punjab and all will be there. Real place where they love to do such things. We could get some certification, or I have got a advanced academics. I've got a world craft foundation. We can find somewhere they get some certificate because it's not a government activity. But I am sure this becomes a model class where a lot of people from across the country will come and then learn. We can invite people from different parts of the world, and that is the greatest recognition which we can have. So it will become a model. Okay.
Sir, I have an initial doubt. Now when we see the school, from nursery onwards, they have some fixed curriculum.
Yeah.
So in nursery, they will be telling something, then in UKG, it will be next stage, something like that. That is a progression we also studied in the same way.
Yeah.
So when maybe that is very clear in your mind, but I just wanted to understand that at a very high level maybe, that when we teach all the kids at the same room, what is the concept behind that, and how we can even convince the parents that your kids' learning will be better in this model. Just wanted to understand.
Yeah, that is why I want the young people, the grandparents, parents, all of them gathering, and then we will explain our methodology in which we are going to work. Actually, the whole world is being fooled by the whole management and the school education system which we have in India. You tell me, the most popular schools are called CBSE. What is CBSE?
Convent school.
Yeah, what is CBSE?
Central Board of Education something.
No, secondary education. CBSE is Central Board of Secondary Education. When is secondary education starts? It's in the 9th class.
Okay.
So up to 9th class, what is being taught is with no syllabus. But everybody puts this chapa there saying that we are a CBSE nursery, CBSE LKG, CBSE UKG. And who made the curriculum? Because CBSE doesn't have a curriculum for LKG, UKG. There are private parties in Delhi. They put the NCERT syllabus and then put them and then print them. And they come and give it to those schools and tell this is the syllabus you have to teach. Actually, the publishers are the people who decides what is to be taught. Academicians, teachers, nobody has a role in this place. So nothing wrong. What basically they need is, they need to have language skill, they need to have mathematical skill, they need to have logical reasoning and analytical skill. Language, how many languages? CBSE doesn't talk about any other language other than English in the textbook, because the Hindi doesn't start in the childhood. So new education policy prescribes that it has to be in the local language. So it is not what is being followed, is not what is the new education policy. So we have to rewrite it. But I'm sure nobody will do it because no
They are
teacher.
very scared actually, sir.
No, one is parents are scared, school management is scared. More than that, we don't have trained teachers to do this.
Yeah.
Nobody
Teacher
want
training is-
nobody want to venture into this business with a initiative of starting something new. So I am ready to spend. That's why I said I am ready to come and spend the time, convince the parents, convince the grandparents, convince the population, convince the society, get them into the place. But we need to make a good propaganda to attract all these people, and there has to be.
That is what I was about to say, that if we will straightforwardly say, like people intellectual like you and like who want to do, we can understand. But parents, definitely we have to tell in a way that they somehow opt it.
That is
They
why
have
you have to frame with an international, national, and such emblems,
Yeah.
and saying that no, this is a new concept with the NEP in practice, and put them into that and put flux in all the area around. Make youth to come as volunteers who wanted to learn, become teachers of tomorrow. The school education system, which will be part of this as the front runners. You will be the torch bearer, you will be the flag. We will make such flyers and post it across, and then the 10 days which I spend with you will establish the school. One beautiful thing which I found when I established in Kerala, which was just one lady who wanted to have a activity. This is the plan which I have got. I got the place, I got the activity done, and the whole expenditure was 5 lakhs. Nothing great, because we are all doing flux only. Flux printing is not very expensive. Even the washroom door will have a picture which is pasted there, which is child friendly. The commode is not the normal commode. Commode also will be a child friendly. See, looking at it, the parents should feel, oh, I did not do it at my house, but there is somebody who is concerned about young children, right? And we have beautiful room where you have got one portion, I said a lot of changing themes. The other side is full mirror. So every child, when they cry, if you show a mirror, they will not cry. You understood? Nobody likes to show. Number one. Number two, keep a small camera which will be projected onto the other wall. One side is mirror. The other wall should have a small projector or a TV in which the camera will show the crying person. Finished, they will never cry. So imagine a LKG, UKG, nursery student enters in a school where generally they cry. You create a school where they don't cry, I'm sure they will love to send them there. In the first year, we expected 10 children in that small place in Kerala. We had 23 children admission in the single day.
Great.
Understood? So this model will work fantastic, and then I am sure you can see that video with the news coverage which happened also is there in my grandma playlist. Okay, I will send you the link in case if you are not able to find. You just type in grandma DrTPS, you will see those videos. The lot of discussions happened. So
I'm very happy, sir, that like you not only have a great idea, but also you are trying new ways so that we can better convince people, because I think everywhere now, like parents are so conservative that they don't want to try anything which is new or which they are not sure about. So we have to convey in such a way that they don't feel it, okay, we not sure what will be the future of this new initiative. We have to tell them in a way that they are already convinced that this is something better than the existing. Definitely, yeah.
See, Aravind Swamy, when America was thinking about the de-schooling, it is called de-schooling, no schools. Okay, they were talking about, you can see on the lot of documentaries on de-schooling.
Okay, I never heard about
Yeah,
it.
America, the biggest problem is the child is not supposed to be sent by um, any normal transport. The parents are responsible for pick up and drop. Otherwise, school bus. And you will see only one school bus for a grade school also, because nobody will send them by the school bus. Because American companies, whichever company you are working, whatever level you are working, either you are a lower level or higher level, the first priority is you don't ask your boss for picking up or dropping or attending the school call for the kids. If I want,
understood this point. I didn't understand.
yeah, if I want to drop my child and I am late in coming to office, my boss just ask me an explanation that is good enough to sue him. Because the first priority is taking care of children.
Oh,
And for which you have taken a leave when your kid is not well, and if you are fired, you can fire the company. Understood?
I think they also have, in offices, they have a places for kids. More frequently, they bring kids to the offices.
Yes, because it's all child friendly. But then a question came with the parents. If I have to drop them, I have to pick them up. And there is a concept called the school district. The school district concept is those people who join to the neighboring school don't have to pay fees. If you put them in a far off place, that means your address of stay should be in the circumference in which the school is being situated, so that people will not spend too much of travel. Understood? So everybody looks after the school very carefully. The school looks after the children very carefully. They go close to even the transfer, even working from home or the company choice, they first select the school district. My kid is to be in this school, let me get a job there. Understood? Because long transportation of children is not permitted in America. In most of the countries it's like that. So they had a question, why should I send my children to school where I have to pick up, I have to drop, I have to take care of them, and there is nothing great syllabus which they are teaching, which you cannot teach, which cannot be digital. So Western people have gone to digital teaching long years back, not during the COVID. Online teaching is there, lot of materials are there. You need to give a lot of assignments, that's it. But you don't know what is to be done, so they keep a mentor. Like me, they will give assignments and then you keep doing it. So here we cannot avoid sending children to schools because parents are not that educated to mentor them. So we don't call them as schools and teachers, we call them as mentors. You call them as attendees, you call them as supporters, you call them as volunteers. So that's why the youth become volunteers, and then later after some time, depending on their ability, we will promote them as mentors for different schools. And what do? They give assignments. The assignments can be learning mathematics, see for example, a age 3 child, if it is there in your class, and a grade 3 child, that means 9 years old in your class, both of them will learn all the countries and capitals in a week time. They will learn many slokas in your class. They may not learn Tingle Tingle Little Star, which is not meaningful. They will learn in our culture, our standard, not one language. I am sure today there is not a mother tongue alone. The other day also I was telling. It is mother tongue, it is father tongue, and it is the other tongue and the social tongue, right? So at least 3-4 languages, including English, Hindi, Punjabi, Urdu, Gujarati, whatever people you have in your community, all of them sit together, they will communicate in such a language, they will learn all the 3-4 different languages. If your neuro-linguistic is powerful with the 4 languages in the childhood up to 3 years, you don't have to teach them any computer languages later. They will learn by themselves. The brain development will become so much. Why do you want this age 3 and grade 3 together? they feel a social responsibility. Otherwise, you will have to have 10 children, 10 children, 10 children. That means you should expect a school which starts with 60 to 70 children. That is impossible when you start in the beginning. Number one. Number two, when they are together, the young child will feel more matured because they are mingling with the little higher children. And the higher children will become more of responsible. They will know how to take care of the younger one. And that will change the family situation. And you have a place around this classroom in all the wall side where parents, grandparents, guests, elders can come and sit and watch these children play. If some of them are responsible, if some of them are good in communicating, if some of them are retired persons who wanted to teach, if they have an idea about no lectures, no class, no blah blah blah, if they are good in creating some craft which they would have learned in their childhood, they want to share a day, you will spare time and tell them, oh, this time to this time, you can show them how to make this creative activity. That maybe the age 3 will not do, but the grade 3 will do. But age 3 will support with supplying gum. You can ask them, you give me the gum. So it will become lot of group activity. Understood? Then the other fellow will tell, you go and keep this in the other room where you have taken it. So they learn the 5S principles which are to be followed in this world. And they will change their family, the style in which they keep things at home. Everything will become systematic. So I'm sure parents will start appreciating, oh, this is a great way of learning things. If you start teaching this to LKG, most of the time the teachers will have a problem to keep quiet, keep quiet, keep quiet. But we are not asking them to keep quiet. We are asking them to do activities. I don't think in this world a child can sit quiet without doing anything. But they need to be engaged with activities. I am sure a grade 3, that means 6-year-old kid is much better to take care of a 3-year-old child than all of us. They have a lot of patience to play and they will play much better with them than playing with us.
Sir, I am now teaching in a school, so I have asked them to give me some classes like 3rd, 4th and 5th as well.
Yeah.
So what I observe, the main problem is kids' energy is not used and they use that energy in distraction. If we will not use that energy in creative way, they start beating each other, doing a lot of noise. And after that, when I am going to their class, they are asking me, like they are begging, sir, let us play, sir, we will play something. But at that time, I don't have much idea how to make them play in the class because they will make a lot of noise. But I already observed that their energies are not consumed, because of that it is used in the wrong thing instead of the correct thing.
That is what I keep saying. Only we know how to tell them don't do things, but we don't have anything to give them to do.
Yeah.
That is why we need craft activities listed down. Anybody, any parent, any grandparents, any neighbors, anybody who wanted to come and list down, there is an activity, you should have a board in which somebody can project. This is the activity which I plan to do. I will become part of your institution. Let me do this on this day. This is the slot for these lectures. So there will be a board. Anybody can come and write down and say that, no, I am a volunteer for your organization. I am sure when you connect to such societal people, they will become your ambassadors. They will catch people and people will come. And we can also give time for the other school children to come and spend time a day with them to understand what they are doing. Spread this message, spread this idea to different people. I am sure your place will become a model for the neighboring places. Okay.
So most of the time, like people, like when we talk, people don't believe much. When we show results, then people start believing it. So like what I want is, let's say we will ask them, okay, send your kid 1 month or 2 months, and if possible after this 1 or 2 months, we will be able to show you that what we are teaching and how much they are improving in. I think that for small kids, even in 1 month or 2 months, we can show a lot of results. That is my understanding.
2 days. I will tell you, if we decide today, I have a free time from June 10th to 20th, that sort of a time. If you are ready to invest for creating such a place into a very thematic thing. I will tell you what to print and what to get ready. Once that is ready, I am sure your ambience will look fantastic and people will come and spend the time there. Understood? And once you start with that, with a lot of today people look at how do you advertise, how do you pose, how do you make it a good design, and I'm sure that design will make the children to feel. I don't think anybody has a classroom which only cushions are there where people can jump, people can sleep, people can do what they want, right?
Sir, as you told, you expect that there should be a big hall, but the problem with my area is it is a 2 BHK flat. So is it possible that somehow we convert, like we use this in our model, we change a little bit and we can utilize this place? Because for like bigger hall as of now, I think it is less possibility for me.
No, but what is the size of the largest room which you have? Forget about whether it is a hall or a...
The largest is the hall, which has somewhere around 15 by 15 feet.
That is a wonderful place. To start with, for 10 children, I think 15 by 15 is a beautiful place.
Then definitely we can do experimentation.
See,
and
what is required is,
2 rooms.
what is required, the other room, you should have library, books, gadgets, what is required for craft, everything is kept intact. And therefore, you are not engaging anything other than playing in this room. And you should have a TV which is put on wall. And I am sure the wall can be used for many purposes. It is for display, it is for keeping items. But at the height of the children, at least 4 feet to 5 feet, nothing should be there so that they feel, even if they do something and they hit, nothing happens to them. See, our problem is when they play, if they hit somewhere, what will happen? If the furniture is there, you will have to take care of them. If nothing is there, you don't have to even worry, right?
Yeah. Actually, if we have furniture, most of the space will be occupied with that furniture itself.
Yeah. So even if the wall can be up to 1.5, 2 feet, if the room is too less, in case if you have got a worry that they will hit there, up to that 3 feet of their height, if you can put cushions around, where even if they hit, nothing happens to them, they are safe. A smaller room is also good enough. You must allow them to fight. You must allow them to kick. You must allow them to play. You must allow them to make noise. If all that is possible, I think that school will be the most fantastic classroom for the children. Understood? And give activities in which you can make small groups and then put them into different places when it is to cut and paste. And scissors have to be used. They will not come inside this room because your cushion should not be disturbed. This is a place where they wanted to sleep, they can sleep. They wanted to make noise, they can make noise. They want no water, no tiffin. All that will be in a place where you go and have it and then come back. The washroom has to be neat enough and good enough. See, I worked with a great rich man in which he was running a small LKG, UKG, grade 1, grade 2 up to grade 4 when I was with him as a consultant for CSR. After every child using the washroom, it is cleaned. Every child. And the owner will come and put his hand inside the commode and smell. It has to be soap smell. Can you imagine such a place? I don't think any school will have this, right?
No.
I'm sure if you can maintain such a beautiful place, people will learn a lot of lessons and in their place they will implement it in their houses also. A wash basin for the height for the children with a mirror, and the commode will be of that size where it is not accommodatable for young children. It is for the young children only, right? So it is a user-friendly, child-friendly, kids-friendly home for the 3 hours or 4 hours or 5 hours. You can decide or they can decide. My child need not exactly come at 9 o'clock and go at 4 o'clock. There is no hurry-burry. When the parents feel you want to put them there, I am open from this time to this time. In between, you find your time and come. Because we are not starting language class, maths class, physics class with a timetable. No. When they join, but I am sure the kids will become so much thrilled that I want to go to school will be the everyday morning ritual for them. It's not the other way.
Sir, how the financial feasibility of this?
That you must decide. Whether you want a return on investment immediate, how many people are working for this, or how many of them are volunteers, How many young people you can have where they work for you free with a certification, which maybe after 6 months we will give it to them on successful completion, or maybe extend another 3 months to finish that they reach at the maturity. How many hours they spend? It need not be 8 hours per day. Some mothers wanted to spend 3 hours. Let them spend 3 hours. But you put that approximately 6 months. That means 6 months into 20 days, 120 multiplied by say 10 hours. So 1200 hours or 1000 hours if they spend, we will give them a certificate that they are the early childhood educator. If they are ready to spend 1000 hours, either with the salary or with a minimum payment, you can decide. How many of them wanted to put their children and become part of this? So that what they pay is equivalent to the salary which they get. These are all which you will have to write down, put it down in the financial part of it. Each town, each village, each place, the rent which you can get for your whole infrastructure, the investment what you are giving, the camera which you are putting, the TV which you are putting. Do you want the return on investment in the first year or second year? Okay, I believe that every businessman knows the term of business. If you are ready to invest and wait for a return on investment for 1 or 2 years, I think you don't have to raise the fees to large, which is not practically not there on the ground around your place. So you can decide based on what is the nominal fees which they have, right? That would be good enough. If you are getting good number, extend this, not one classroom, you can extend 1 or 2 classrooms, and with the same volunteers, same number of people. At least 3 people should be there with the 10 children. The children to mentors ratio should be 10:3.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's as per the normal standard, it is definitely very high standard.
Actually, definitely the LKG, UKG, nursery, that standard is for 20 children, 1 teacher and 2 ayahs. We are making it double. The reason is nursery, LKG, UKG, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3. And it's a new system in which they have to learn. So each one of them will have to, we will train them. Actually, if you want to start in July, the June 10th to 20th is the time when the volunteers, teachers, parents, grandparents, where we can actually trim them and train them and then put into the group. So definitely after 10 days, the banging starts. I'm sure there will be like a real jump.
Yeah, maybe sir, if this in June, if we can utilize 10 days for some kind of advertisement or some kind of training.
Yeah.
Definitely education is not that much in my area. It's still a part of rural area. But I think as we will proceed, definitely we will come to know. As of now, in this area, sir, I see like lot of show off is there. So people want to put, I think it is everywhere, even in Hyderabad it was there. People want to put their kids into like bigger schools, and now RT is there. That right to education is there. So even poor people are able to send their kids into the bigger school who has like 50,000 or 60,000 fees, which is very high as per the normal standard of my town. But we have to bring them out of this show-off model somehow, so that they can be convinced to part of this.
But what if you look at my video in which the original house to the modified house, you will see a fantastic change. We have not spent much time. We have not spent much money. It is only flux. See, a normal house will have a look, but to show that this is something which is attractive, see, no circus fellow does only circus, right? They have a beautiful
ambience has to be created.
Ambience has to be created.
I already have a bad experience. In Hyderabad, I opened a yoga studio.
Okay.
So I am very much interested in yoga. So what my mind says, okay, everyone will be interested in yoga, but people want ambience. Till the time you don't create ambience, like everyone will not be interested into that.
100%.
So I already had that.
So I am sure what you should have is, you should have all that with the minimum expenditure. Don't spend too much. Because anything which is monotonous, which stays for 3 years, will not be that acceptable. So you must change it. That is why I don't want to spend including the repainting all that will not be done. We will only paste things and then remove it next day. Or every day the theme can be different. In your classroom when they come, one day is forest, next day you are changing that board and then putting a aquarium there. Understood? So physical things are much more difficult, but today you can create a virtual screen which almost looks like a realistic one, right? So there are a lot of things to learn, and children will start learning it, and the mentors will have to explain. And I'm sure the young children, LKG to LKG, nursery, LKG, UKG, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, the 6 different age group people will start discussing. They will get engaged themselves, they will have a lot of questions, and the questions answers will get, and keep recording. Everything has to be recorded. So you have a continuous recording system in which everything is recorded in color, not black and white, not for tracking the thing. I'm sure you will find after few days what you can show to the parents, what you can show as a model to the world. It will become a unique and very, very creative one.
Okay. Sir, maybe we will have another session where what I will do, I will come up with the doubts which I have. That straightforwardly, if I can ask questions, you will be able to better give the answer. That definitely we can do once more. And before that, sir, one question I have is, let's say we are teaching children from age 3 to grade 3. So now, what is their acceptance into the now in the regular schools after this, or what is our plan about that?
See, I'll tell you, if you have got wonderful children, you have a tie-up with any of the international standard grade 2 schools. They will be behind Aravind Swamy to put your children to that schools. Because all on a sudden they will get 30 admissions or 40 admissions or 10 admissions. You can have a tie-up with one of those schools where you are telling that I am going to give you this number of children after 4 years, after 3 years, after 2 years. Next year you will get, because the grade 3 children will need admission, right? Number one. Number two, if you are too enthusiastic, you want to establish your own school, you can run a school up to 8th grade. After 8th grade, register them under open school scheme of NIOS in India. You can run up to 12th class without anybody's support.
Okay.
There is an open school scheme which is recognized as CBSE recognized school in India, which is called open school. I'm sure,
Open school.
and I'm sure if you are doing wonderful, you will be feeling that no, why not extend this and then run a school by myself? So you ask why.
Definitely that definitely depends on the results we are producing. If we have results,
so
we can have extension as well.
Yeah. So guarantee them your children will not be on the ground. Next one, up to 7th class. I also own a school in Kerala which is called an aided school. That means government will pay salary for the staff. We are only supposed to manage. Up to 7th class, I can admit anybody based on age without having any of the schooling certificate previous to that. So anywhere in the school system, that is the rule. A CBSE school principal can admit anybody based on age without having any certificate of previous. But that need to have a certification from some authority saying that no, they were under the open education system. They were in homeschooling. Homeschooling, open schooling is admitted and approved today. Otherwise, we don't have an open school scheme, right? And you can ask for an open school and then start at the board saying that no, you are an NIOS center. Wonderful, that's good enough. Up to 12th class is already taken care of.
Yeah, I think definitely, sir, you have shared a lot of information and you are very generous. As soon as I requested you, you have connected with me.
No, Aravind Swamy, I have gained a lot of experience by working at different places. In academics, almost 23 years now, rolling around the different places. Last month, I was there in Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan, then went to Jharkhand, Bihar, West Bengal, and then Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Kerala. I am staying in Andhra. You can imagine I am rolling around India with this, right? How many schools and how many teachers, how many students? It's huge number. So I am sure I have seen the poorest of the poorest and the richest of the richest in this world. The other day I was there in a Jharkhand school. I asked children, how many of you have gone to cinema theatre? Out of 100 children, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th grade, there is only one child who has seen a cinema theatre. You can imagine.
Yeah,
See,
actually, in reality, we want to work for that level only. But the only thing is, like maybe this is my understanding that somehow we should have resources in hand so that at finally, like we will reach to there also. So if we have a model and if we have some resources, then definitely we will be more happy to work with such students. Once I actually went with my father into a government school, and I don't know why, but like when I saw the enthusiasm in those kids, but still they don't have resources, but their enthusiasm, I had some tears in my eyes. I don't know from where those tears has come, but I felt like somehow if we can work for these people who still after 75 years of independence don't have resources to compete with the world which is establishing in the metro cities or something, that will be a real life. Somehow that was my thought.
Aravind Swamy, when I went to NIT Hamirpur, NIT Hamirpur has a beautiful campus, a huge compound wall. I was called for a tech fest as a chief guest there. Reaching there is difficult, so one day earlier I went. Because every flight is not reachable there, all the time you don't get. So I went one day earlier. And then the evening of that day, what I did was I went to I do a satellite survey. When you told that you are near to the border, immediately I have seen the place, seen the location. I asked you to send the latitude, longitude, got the place, look at it where you are. That's what I do. I do a great survey and then study. Because my job was from satellite, looking at the ground and finding what is there, right? So I did this before going to Hamirpur NIT. So I went to the neighboring small basti in which the poorest of the poorest are living. I took some of the volunteers who were with me from the NIT and then asked them, have you ever gone to this place? They no, we only enter into the campus, go back, nothing else. They are from the whole India, not one place. But they don't even look at the next neighbor. Then I asked these people, collected few people, and it was nearly 80 people, 80 young kids were around me. Because I said all the children can come, I am going to show you some great things in this world and all that. And you know what I wanted to show to them? I wanted to show them inside the campus, which they would never got an opportunity to get inside because we have security. Then I asked some of them, do you know what is inside? They said there is like a prison. Because they have seen police people with uniform, CRPF people with uniform sort of a thing, opening the gate, closing the gate, asking questions, signing. They thought it's a jail. Because nobody even read that NIT board, right? Understood? So I tell you, I am going to take you there, you can see the place. When I took them into the auditorium, and in the auditorium they thought it's a cinema hall. Because they have only seen such seating arrangements in a cinema hall. When I had a group photo, I asked all of them, stand, let us have a photo together along with the NIT students and these children. Everybody was doing this. I asked, why are you doing this? In their life, only 2 times their picture is taken. One is Independence Day and the Republic Day. So that time the flag hosting, everybody was doing it. So they thought, when there is a picture taken, you should do this. Imagine, and I asked these NIT students, allow them to come to the campus, sit in the class, teach them maths, physics, chemistry, English. And today, 2 or 3 of them from that basti is in NIT. They became IIT students. Got it?
Definitely,
I think given an opportunity, our Navodaya Vidyalaya was for such an option where children from the poor background, children from the neighboring places mixed together and put in same class, totally residential, and it became a very successful model. Today, without any coaching, without any medical engineering entrance examination from Navodaya, plenty of people have reached into great institutions. The other day, last year, I think I have got this presentation given by them. 22nd December 2020, I went to one of the colleges in Tamil Nadu. It's a remote place. Yesterday, I got a message saying one of them is selected in UPSC with the 400th rank. So I was telling teachers, congratulations. They said, no, you came and give a talk. That was the starting spark given to him. And he always says that it is that lecture which I gave motivated him. He's from a mathematics background. I am from a mathematics background. So we had an interactive program with them in which I said, horizon has to be beyond the limits. So I'm sure give, we will feel happy at the end of the day, end of the year, end of the life, saying I have done something great back to the society. So I am there with anybody who wanted to wanted my service, and I will be at your service.
So definitely, sir, we will need your support at every step, because we can start the things, but you are the person who will be mind behind that, and your mentoring will be required at every step. And I am sure that you will be there.
I will be there.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your time, and maybe we will be in touch and we will connect more.
So it's nice to talk to Aravind Swamy, who got migrated from the middle of India to the Pak border, right?
Yes, sir.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Have a great day, sir.
Great day. Bye.